the last couple of overs. Slightly off the handle of the bat, but... And this time, it's another different stroke. Again, I'm not sure it's one that he intended. Almost went to hand to the sweeper on the offside, and you can see he's berating himself. Wanted to go a lot straighter over extra cover. And he did the same thing in the first one-day international. Dropped short of that man. That's the boundary. Probably just wants to stay in the stroke a little bit longer. Have to aim so much towards extra cover because the middle is up in the circle. Wide signal. My full rifle. And he's come in. And he's got on with the business. 37 from the 35 ball. And it's gone past Donald Tirupana, short third man. And a couple will Bangladesh started to pick up the scoring rate, particularly to the spinners. Overall scoring rate 5.86. First 5 overs to the spinners, just 18 runs for Bangladesh. No boundaries. Next 6 overs with 57 6 fours. That man we're talking about at the moment, Mushfiqur, he's on strike, being cheap for those boundaries against the spinners. Again, very, very fine. Was not going to get to the boundary. Come back for another 2. Again, depth touch, exploiting that vacant third man area. Not with that much room. Yeah, in fact, when we started our commentary stint, we were just talking about how the spinners have kept things quiet, and since then, it's been those 6 boundaries, 5 of them to Mushfiqur. Had the reverse sweep, 2 conventional sweeps, 1 fine, 1 square. Had quite an array of strokes and vastly different. 34 runs last 5 overs. Have to make the Zimbabwe captain think it's 130 for 2.
ভালোবাসা সুন্দর গল্পগুলো তো সুন্দর কিছু থেকেই শুরু হয়। নান্দনিক ডিজাইন, পুরো স্টেনলেস স্টিল দিয়ে তৈরি। গাজি সিল্ক কিচেনটা সুন্দর করে, সংসারটাও। সরি, আসতে দেরি হয়ে গেল। কথা না শিখে কিভাবে আসে বলো? কথাগুলো হারিয়ে না যাক শব্দের অভাবে। ইন্টারনেট হাতে চাইলেই সম্ভব। সবার সাথে সবার ভাষায় কথা বলা। গ্রামীণ ফোন।
Projected scores will be a little worrying from a Zimbabwean perspective. 8 wickets in hand. He's still looking like they're going nowhere. The sense of not getting out. 42 of 38, Mushfiqur Rahim. Tamim well on his way to another 3-figure score. He's 70. It's still early days to talk about 3 figures, but I'm sure that's firmly planted in his mind. In a while, 23 games. Tirupana has a chance to make up for that little lapse in the field. Got ball in hand. Very different conditions from 48 hours ago. Haze over select. In fact, you know, there's been lots of rain, thunderstorms in Dhaka. Not that we're expecting any weather threats here, it's just hazy. Yeah, there's been a rain around the cricketing world. He said no matches in Dhaka, no international matches, but in Sydney, it's been bucketing down at the T20 World Cup. Spoiled the chances for the Tigers to pick up a rare victory. They put on 150, fabulous score against Pakistan, and then Pakistan weren't able to chase. In fact, the stats showed they've never chased down 150. So big opportunity missed there with plenty of rain falling in Sydney. He waves and uses that bat like a magic wand almost when he plays that particular shot as Tamim Iqbal. Back with a square on the offside. Honestly, at the moment, looking like only a run out could break this partnership. We've had two already in the innings so far. So fluent has been Mushfiqur Rahim. Now he's got protection. Come back really well for two. And he was the one who pushed Tamim Iqbal for that second run.
But very quick between the wickets. Rahim possibly slightly quicker. They just cover. Going to have a boundary. A direct hit was going to be problems for Mushfiqur. All safe. Extra bounce again. Ronald Tiripano. Same end that Carl Mumba opened the bowling from. Got a little bit of extra bounce as well. Off that bottom glove. Lucky play onto the slab.
End of the 23rd, it's 134 for 2.
এটা কি দিন বদলে গেছে না ঘরে বসে অনলাইন বিজনেস করছি বাহ আর এটা কি ওহ মুড হয়ে আসছে চিন্তা বদলেছো এখন অভ্যাসটাও বদলাও বদলে যাওয়া দিনের জন্য সাবান না এটা
Fair and Lovely Instaglow Face Wash এটি মুখ থেকে ধুলোবালি এবং চিটচিটে ভাব দূর করে দেয় মাল্টিভিটামিন ফর্মুলার সম্পূর্ণ গ্লো Fair and Lovely Face Wash
Terrific partnership so far, 69 from 77. Two senior players in the middle order. Really not let the spinners settle at all. Been tough going, boundaries are plenty. 19 fours in the innings, yet to be a maximum. And they've gone back to the youngster, Adavere. Going to start his fifth over. Welcome, Mazza, next to me for the first time. Welcome.
Thanks, George. Good to be here with you, though. It's been a good start for the two experienced batsmen. Both are standing on some of their milestones in store. Tamim, obviously, 84 runs away from his 7,000 runs before this game.
Mention those milestones. We've seen quite a few of them the other day. The skipper, 700 national wickets. That's special. And we just heard it's 15 more runs for Tamim to reach that milestone. How many? 7,000 did you mention?
Yeah, 7,000. And there's also for Mushfiqur. If Bangladesh wins this game, it will be his 100th win as a player for ODI. Bangladesh have managed to 126 of those.
Almost another mix-up. And the batsman hasn't been the first or the last.
That's good running.
It's just knocking it around.
for a single. What I was talking about Tamim, it's not about scoring those 7-3 runs, but it's his approach, the way he has batted through right from the start. His intent showed. It's like he's more relaxed now comparing to his previous knock yesterday in the last game.
Once again, running it fine. He fancies that late cut. Well bowled. Very well bowled. Singles. 5 of them off the over. 139 for 2.
পানির প্রয়োজনে আমরা আছি সবসময় আপনার পাশে। বাংলাদেশের সর্বাধিক ব্যবহৃত পানির ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী ট্যাঙ্ক। গাজীর প্রথম, গাজীর সেরা। বাংলাদেশের সমৃদ্ধিতে গাজী গ্রুপ।
আম্মা আম্মা
6 fours in this partnership. A lot of singles. Brilliant deflections into gaps and running hard. 37 singles. Excellent batting. Rapana is going to continue.
Right. The way that these two batsmen going on at the moment, the projected score says they might score around 290 if the current run rate goes like this, 5.79, but they must be eyeing more than that.
Absolutely right. Well over the 300. Only 2 wickets down. Each in the halfway stage. So 320. A few more if it really goes well for them. And Rapana. Captain's called back for his second spell. Slow ball, and this time that got mid off, mid on, in the ring, trying to just apply a little bit of extra pressure to get a breakthrough.
Even Tamim knows that he was trying to work it out towards cover and extra cover region. Bottom end comes into play, I must say, yeah. He went hard on it. Yeah, and face of the bat moved away.
Bowled once again, went full, went for the Yorker. Well bowled, but his strike rate has dipped. He's around the 120 mark for a large part of his innings, and he's just dropped down now, almost to a runner ball. His head fell over a touch there, well bowled. Full went straight and get through his defences, but now his strike rate has come down a touch now. What a deliveries for his most recent set. 20 to 38, brilliant. Short, pulled away, fine, that's not a great delivery. Running away for another boundary.
Things haven't been gone well for the Zimbabwean seamers right from the start, although they got some extra bounce from the pitch early on. Yeah, it went fine, too fine for boundary.
Disappointing aspect about that is his previous couple of deliveries were actually very good and frustrated the batsman and gave him a real freebie. Just get some bat on that. They're never going to stop that. Slow ball. Watch your stumps. Missed indecision once again. Tell you what, the running between the wickets has not been good today.
Mushfiq was smiling all around. It was his call, and Tamim later realized that. And Tamim obviously thinking he was part of 2 run-outs already.
Well, it really was him looking back to see the ball was going to hit his stumps, and he ran, and he probably would have just made it. Have another closer look. Oh, that's tight.
That was close. That was close.
Given from the over, 146 for 2.
প্রতিদিন যত ঘাম ধুলা বা রোদের মুখোমুখি হই না কেন, আমি থাকি ড্যান্ড্রফে। কারণ নতুন ক্লিয়ার ট্রিপল অ্যান্টি ড্যান্ড্রফ টেকনোলজি ও ভিটামিন B3 সমৃদ্ধ, যা স্কাল্পের গভীরে গিয়ে শুধু ড্যান্ড্রফই দূর করে না, ফিরে আসাকেও বন্ধ করে। তাই ড্যান্ড্রফ ফ্রি চুলে আমি আমি সবসময় থাকি কনফিডেন্ট। আই হ্যাভ নাথিং টু হাইড। নতুন ক্লিয়ার।
Cuts away beautifully. And Mushfiqur has gone past the half-century mark. A beautiful knock going and a great strike rate.
Totally a different batsman comparing to his ability as a test batsman, and in the limited over formats plays all across the ground, and his conventional drive along with the sweeps and reverse sweeps makes him a tough batsman to bowl. Single again for Tamim Iqbal.
Has been in some wonderful form test match. We know that superb third double century. A bit fortunate in that sweep shot. Was a bit of a top edge, but he's in there. Long-time partner, Tamim. Reverse sweep, here it comes, and it's gone away for four. What a great shot that is. Improvisation at its best.
Just talked about the creativity, the way he plays the sweeps and reverse sweeps to unsettle the bowler. And it was the case again. Played it really well, back past the short Tasman fielder, there's no point there. Timed it really well.
Well, we've opted with that one fielder behind square on the offside, where we've seen late cuts and they've really toyed with that fielder. Would really be interested in getting an extra fielder in that region, a point and a third man basically, and try and close up that area of the field. So they've headed elsewhere. Really have cashed in that area today. Use of the feet, he's gone big, is it big enough? Wonderful catch, that's a huge wicket for Zimbabwe. He's holed out and long on. Bushwick is gone.
That was not necessary at all. You just hit a boundary in the previous ball and you went for it, took on the bowler, didn't connect it properly and gave away his wicket. I must say, he should have scored a big knock from here on.
A disappointing end, as you say, a soft dismissal for a player of his calibre. Well judged there, really, just a couple of feet inside the boundary. Big celebration, and he's going to rue that. Mushfiqur Rahim is gone. Gone for 55. Bangladesh, 152 for 3.
বাবা,
তুই এখানে
আমাকে সময় না দিয়ে তুমি লাইনে দাঁড়িয়ে আছো?
বিদ্যুৎ বিল তো দিতে হবে মা।
এত কষ্ট করে না, আসো। তোমাকে না বিকাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট খুলে দিলাম, বিল বিকাশ করো, পে বিলে যাও, তথ্য দিয়ে পিন দাও।
হয়ে গেল। এখন দেশের যে কোনো বিদ্যুৎ বিল বিকাশ করুন নিশ্চিন্তে।
নোটবুক আর ওয়ান্ডার তৈরি চলামতে ডেলিভারি দেওয়াটাই আমার দায়িত্ব।
গাজী লাইট কমার্শিয়াল ভেহিকেল টায়ার, গাজী টায়ার, নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা।
One experienced campaigner departs and the other comes in. Mahmudullah Ria, 34 years of age, 187 matches, 4,026 runs, average of 33.83. But he has a good job in his hand now.
That's right, he's going to be starting at the non-striker's end. Mushfiqur Rahim, hold out to long on. Disappointing. Well bowled, defeated him in the flight, really, didn't get all of it. Going to drag it over long on. Pouncing on it. Brilliant judgment and catch in the deep. Berry has once again been the standout, and that's a bit of a tight run as well to get Mahmudullah on strike. Another look at the stroke. Just did not quite get there. And also you've got to question the judgment and the timing of when he wanted to play the stroke. Defeated in the flight. Tried to go, no attempt to get over the ball. Tried to hit it all the way for 6. Caught out.
Couldn't go under the ball as well. He went there though. It was unnecessary at the same time. He just struck a boundary in the previous ball. Talking about Madvere, yeah, has been impressive since his debut in the last game, both with ball and bat as well. Even in the field, fielded well.
Slow it through the air. A wicket, 7 runs, 153 for 3.
হ্যালো মা।
হ্যালো আন্টি।
খুব গ্লো করছো, বিয়ে ঠিক হয়ে গেছে নাকি? হ্যাঁ, কাল একটা আর আগামী সপ্তাহে আরো একটা। আমার না, আমার বিজনেস অন্যদের বিয়ের ফাংশন প্ল্যান করা। খুব ভালো। নতুন ফেয়ার লাভলি এইচডি গ্লো এর মাল্টিভিটামিন স্কিন সেলসকে গ্লো করে আর আপনাকে দেয় এইচডি গ্লো। নিজের পরিচয়ে গ্লো করো ফেয়ার লাভলি এইচডি গ্লো এর সাথে।
কথাগুলো হারিয়ে না যাক শব্দের অভাবে ইন্টারনেট হাতে চাইলেই সম্ভব সবার সাথে সবার ভাষায় কথা বলা গ্রামীণ ফোন।
Tamim approaching a massive milestone, and he's already the highest ODI scoring batsman for Bangladesh. What a man, what a player he's been over the years.
3 runs away to score 7,000 ODI runs, most by Bangladeshi by far, yeah. Saqib Al Hasan behind him, 6,323 runs from 206 matches. Mushfiqur Rahim just departed, 6,174 runs from 218 games, and Mahmudullah just joined. Tamim Iqbal had 4,026 runs in 187 games.
Good start to Rapana to the new batsman. He's got to just try and get his groupings right here. He's got to really work hard. They try and just keep taking wickets here. That's the only way they're going to be able to stem the runs at this point in time. Big partnership they broke a minute ago. The soft dismissal in the end, and Desh dugout won't be too pleased with how it ended really. A couple of run-outs, unnecessary. This partnership's going to be a big one.
Two different batsmen altogether, Mahmudullah Riyad and comparing to Mushfiqur Rahim, who tends to look set right from the word to at the crease, while Mahmudullah takes a bit of time at the crease, takes time to settle in, wants to middle the ball for a few balls and then go for it. So it will be interesting to see how this partnership goes from here. They need to rotate the strike as well.
Work it down, third man to get himself off the mark, but you mentioned two different ways they operate, usually different, and Tamim was a little bit calmed really in the first ODI, where he really just let the guys bowl to him and let the bowlers settle. Today, total different ball game. He's come in and he's hit a team from ball one, and he's entertained these fans superbly. Oh, he's run it fine. What a stroke that is. And that's the milestone. Congratulations to Tamim Iqbal on over 7,000 runs. What a brilliant player for Bangladesh.
Worked it away fine and sort of a man in confidence, I must say, and holder of almost all the records, personal individual records as a batsman by a Bangladeshi. Recently just Mushfiqur Rahim went past as the highest run scorer in Test, but he is there and looking good.
He's gone for the slow bouncer. It was comical, that one. Well over the bowler's in the batsman's head. But he talked about his form in the press, and everyone's been banging on about it. But to be fair, class is permanent here from this man. You never doubt it, and so good to see people getting backed. And when they do get backed, how well they can play. Any player, to be honest, not just the well-respected ones. Any player gets that consistency and gets that backing can really perform. Quick single, turn down. Mahmudullah. That's the
দীপিকা সেলফি প্লিজ। ওয়াও, রিয়েল লাইফে তুমি আরো বেশি সুন্দর, এত উজ্জ্বল। নিশ্চয়ই ত্বকের জন্য অনেক কিছু করতে হয়। অনেক কিছু না, শুরুটাই আসো। লাক্স, এতে আছে 7টি সৌন্দর্য উপাদান যা দেয় কোমল ও উজ্জ্বল ত্বক। সৌন্দর্যের শুরু লাক্স।
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ, আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ।
গাজী পাইপ আগে আসলে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
Talking about Tamim Iqbal, I had a chat with Neil McKenzie, Bangladesh batting consultant, on the other day, and he said Tamim needs a couple of more boundaries in the power play that will get him going and loosen him up. And I also talked about how things change about his approach and talking about it. Tamim punishing right on the spot. Yeah. Take some delightful strokes today. They're talking about Tamim's approach, and Mackenzie told that if he knows his game very well, an experienced campaigner, at the same time, he needs to loosen him up.
Quick single, short third man. Taylor, he was on his heels there. Should not have been a one there.
Yeah, there have been few quick singles, and mostly towards that short third man region. You mentioned it previously. Crowd enjoying their time today. For the first time, Philly is hosting a full-fledged series here, and the beautiful crowd, I must say, the most picturesque crowd in the country.
Dunbar, Mamadou going deep in the crease, working it on the onside, and mentioned beautiful ground and on the bowl that he got in. Such a beautiful area.
Yeah, Tamim looking solid, building his innings for a big 100 now. Talking about Philly, there's also an outer stadium building right behind us, and it will be used for the development teams and the high-performance squads, and it looks good for so far. It will take another 5-6 months from here on.
Batsmen not ready, but you mentioned the grounds, surrounding grounds and top sides play here. The feeder teams that can train in a similar facility nearby always works very well. Use of the feet, over middle, what a lovely stroke. All the way, the first maximum of the game. Was it? You take it back. End of the over, 168 for 3.
ত্বকের গ্লো কতক্ষণ থাকে? ওড়না দিয়ে মুখ ঢেকেছো রোদ থেকে বাঁচার জন্য, কিন্তু বাসের জন্য দাঁড়িয়ে ত্বকের গ্লো গেল হারিয়ে। তো যত চেষ্টাই করো, রোদের গ্লো হারাতেই পারে, তাই ব্যবহার করো
ফেয়ার এন্ড লাভলি রোদের মলিনতা দূর করে দেয় গ্লোয়িং স্কিন।
এখন থেকে মুখের জন্য চমৎকার গ্লো। মিস্টার শেফ, ওটা চিনি। এমন অনেক কিছু সম্ভব করতে গ্রামীণ ফোনের 3.5 মেয়াদের 4 GB ইন্টারনেট মাত্র 108 টাকায়।
Lovely stroke from Madilla. This first boundary, really a good looking stroke, use of the feet. While helping it on its way. A couple of bounces down to fine leg, but that is not, there's no future in that line and that length for Zimbabwe. The last ball for the use of the feature. Got himself in great position to execute the stroke over mid-off. It's a tougher shot against the off-spinner, but himself in a prime position to execute it.
He actually pushed the mid-off fielder to go towards long off to take singles and trying to cut loose.
Leg side once again. Disappointing start. First 2 deliveries down the leg side. Right, left hand, we know, can be tough, but just got to be able to execute his plans here, get it off stump, fourth stump line. Got to be harder on himself here, Turapana.
But Zimbabwe bowlers lack today to maximize the dot balls. Yes, the pitch is good and the batsman looks solid, but at the same time you need to maximize the odd dot balls, put pressure on the batsmen, let them make mistakes.
Wide, slept, over backward point. Too much width on this occasion. Another boundary.
Tamim reaches to 90s now, and he knew where the fielders were. It was wide, slapped onto it. Over the point fielders head for a boundary. He must be feeling a lot better reaching 90s after a long time.
Feel even better after getting to 100, there's no doubt. That is plenty of width given. Nicely played. Hit it late. It's a good delivery, but still managing to rotate the strike and moving to those 90s. Been one-way traffic. It's been such a pleasure watching Tamim in action today. First ODI he did struggle a touch, and he has done with the previous innings, but today, the one we know best. Short ball.
You mentioned about Tamim's strike rate dipping at the mid-stage back after reaching 60 or 70. It has been the case for him for the past few matches now, and today he looks solid and hasn't thought about this strike rate and all, and enjoyed his game. That was very important for him. He was unable to enjoy his game, right, for the past 3, 4, 5 matches in the limited over format.
Bowled it a lot better. To the over 170.
Close-up anti-germ mouthwash formulaয় নিঃশ্বাসে আনে super long lasting freshness। তাই যখনই সুযোগ পাও কাছে আসার, এগিয়ে যাও কনফিডেন্সের সাথে। Close up, always ready।
সবাই এই কষ্ট বোঝে না, বুঝবই বা কেমনে? সবাই তো আর গাছি না।
দীর্ঘস্থায়ী বন্ধু গাজী ডিকশন হ্যান্ড টায়ার, নিরাপদ হোক পথ চলা।
The action, 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, no 6s to date. Not one to do it. Yeah, the boundary lost over, but quite a yard short. They're the ones, 55 ones, our boundary count. Not too many twos, funny enough. Okay. Couple of run-outs. Put that in, give it a little column for that maybe next time. Change the bowler. Mumba, he's back. 5 overs now for 25. His first spell.
Soft hands, quick finger. Mahmudullah Riyad reaches 10 of 12 balls. Tamim Iqbal on 93 of 89 balls, talking about his strike rate. He's well over 100 today and batting at a very good pace. He had 40 dot balls, 14 boundaries, no sixes. He won't mind though.
Plenty time yet. 30th over. Hopefully he doesn't get cramped like Litton Dust did in the last game. Hopefully he's had some liquid before the game and he's well ahead of the game. Beautiful punch. Good stop.
Previous delivery, straight to the point fielder. Goes on the slot though, yeah. Wide. He connected very well, but straight to the fielder. Sometimes it frustrated you as a batsman when you connect a good ball, but it went straight to the fielder.
Width again. Right. Struggle to stop the run flow with those type of deliveries, but get the batting line. 136 front line batsman. Played in last time, he proved to be a wonderful addition to the batting lineup in the last game. He finished superbly and he bowled well as well. So it was really, really good and find, I think, going forward. Have a look on the back page, front page. Might find him there. That's where he's going. 20 overs still to bat. I mean, bats another 10, 15 overs, yeah, you could have a huge one.
Obviously, and the platform is set for him, and first of all, he would really want to reach that milestone and loosening up, as has been the case for him. So far, he played very well, and the projected score now, so 302 if they went on from this rate, 6.02. They can reach 342 if they score at a rate of 8 per over.
A couple things that need to pick up on the batting lineup. They're going to really look to try and put the foot down in those 35 to 40 overs, because that's when they obviously the restriction, having that extra fielder will have to remain in the ring at the start of the 40th over, 41st over. You need to have max of 5 out the ring, so you could get, stem the flow of runs in a small way then in the last 10 overs. Bowling, good bowling, handling in. 3 runs from it, 179 for 3.
এটা কি দিন বদলে গেছে না, ঘরে বসে অনলাইন বিজনেস করছি। আর এটা কি, ওহ মুগ্ধ হয়ে আসছি। চিন্তা বদলেছো, এখন অভ্যাসটাও বদলাও। বদলে যাওয়া দিনের জন্য সাবান না, এটা
ফেয়ার এন্ড লাভলি ইনস্টা গ্লো ফেস ওয়াশ। এটি মুখ থেকে ধুলোবালি এবং চিটচিটে ভাব দূর করে দেয় মাল্টিভিটামিন ফর্মুলার সম্পূর্ণ গ্লো। ফেয়ার এন্ড লাভলি ফেস ওয়াশ।
Williams coming in for his 3rd over. Been out for a while on flight from Bulawayo via Harare, Johannesburg, Dubai and Dhaka. So far hasn't made an impression yet. Another partnership gets going, 27 of 28 deliveries on the low scored the other day. Just at a time when they needed to re-kickstart the innings. Partnership with Mohammad Mithun took the singles early on here. Very different sort of partnership. He's got a set man at the other end. Tamim Iqbal on the verge of yet another landmark, one that hasn't come to him in almost 2 years. More of what we're used to seeing from Sean Williams. Quick overs, keeping the batsman quiet.
That's what they've got to do. They've just pull in the reins a bit and ensure that they don't take it away from the bowlers. A lot of pressure, and you've got to keep your cool bowling to batsmen on the lookout for runs, and that occasion you should be enough to tap it away into the reach for an amble single. I think the responsibility on Mahmudullah Riyaz now is compliment Tamim Iqbal, and maybe also just talk to him, guide him on his way to a century that has eluded him for a while. Might be in his nervous 90s, used to scoring the centuries. But the scenario is very different at the moment.
To 3.
বাবা আমাকে সময় না দিয়ে তুমি লাইনে দাঁড়িয়ে আছো,
কিন্তু বিল তো দিতে হবে মা।
এত কষ্ট করে না, আসো। তোমাকে না বিকাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট খুলে দিলাম, বিল বিকাশ করো, পে বিলে যাও, তথ্য দিয়ে পিন দাও।
হয়ে গেল। এখন দেশের যে কোনো বিদ্যুৎ বিল বিকাশ করুন নিশ্চিন্তে।
batsmen generally like to put their foot down with the new rules, meaning that in the last 10 overs, the fielding side gets the insurance of an extra fielder outside the 30-yard circle. Your traditional slog overs are not always necessarily the last 10.
The amble single that brings Tamim Iqbal onto strike. Been reminded by our batsman Arun that he's been out on 95 in on-day internationals on 3 occasions. I think he needs a couple of runs just to raise that number.
Maybe he isn't looking for that single. He wants to just get a 2, not even be there. It's like a stepping stone. Don't step on that little square that you don't want to be on.
It's that way. I'm sure he doesn't remember all that. You just can't afford to be in the middle and think about the centuries you've missed out. You've scored 11 of them. You're headed for the 12th, and that's what you should be focusing on.
But now he gets to 95. There you go. He's obviously not aware of it, and he shouldn't be either. Oh, now he wants gloves. He wants gloves. 95, you cannot be with the same pair of gloves. Sorry, can I have a new pair, please?
I think you remember those occasions that he had to go back to the hut at 95. Mohammedullah Riyad now, an added responsibility, I think, from Riyad. Nicely done, but straight to the fielder. He's been told to take an option regarding the formats he's playing in, and told to concentrate on the one-day format by the think tank. So he's trying to make an impression here.
And 183 for 3 after 32.
প্রতিদিন যতই ঘাম ধুলা বা রোদের মুখোমুখি হই না কেন আমি থাকি ড্যান্ড্রফ ফ্রি কারণ নতুন ক্লিয়ার ট্রিপল অ্যান্টি ড্যান্ড্রফ টেকনোলজি ও ভিটামিন B3 সমৃদ্ধ যা স্কাল্পের গভীরে গিয়ে শুধু ড্যান্ড্রফই দূর করে না ফিরে আসাকেও বন্ধ করে তাই ড্যান্ড্রফ ফ্রি চুলে আমি সবসময় থাকি কনফিডেন্ট আই হ্যাভ নাথিং টু হাইড নতুন ক্লিয়ার
So 95 for Tamim Iqbal. He's got a dry pair of gloves. Very often when gloves come out for a batsman, it's usually a message. So often we see they don't even take that new pair of gloves. The message is passed on and the 12th man heads out. On this occasion, he's actually taken that dry gloves for the sweaty palm, for the nervous 90.
Yeah, and just back to Mohammedullah Riyad, he's seeing his way into this innings, isn't he? Not taking any kind of chances, just playing those kind of deliveries with a little bit of respect. I don't blame him for that. If Bangladesh going strongly at 5.66 runs per over, can afford to buy this time.
And he did exactly that in his partnership with Mohammad Mithun. Had a chat, his flash interview at the end of the first innings, and exactly what he said. 2 batsmen had a chat. They said, we're okay for 5 or 6 overs to just rotate the strike. They had a 25-ball boundary drought, but as we kept pointing out, there were no boundaries, but 26 runs scored. So while they did quieten down, they didn't forget the singles.
This over so far has not fielded any runs, and of course, Ron Williams will be hoping to finish with a dot and get a rare maiden.
Well, the maiden eludes him. The only maiden he'll have.
ভালোবাসার সুন্দর গল্পগুলো তো সুন্দর কিছু থেকেই শুরু হয় নান্দনিক ডিজাইন পুরো স্টেনলেস স্টিল দিয়ে তৈরি গাজি সিং কিচেনটা সুন্দর করে সংসারটাও
সরি আসতে দেরি হয়ে গেল না শিখে কিভাবে আসি বলো? কথাগুলো হারিয়ে না যাক শব্দের অভাবে। ইন্টারনেট হাতে চাইলেই সম্ভব সবার সাথে সবার ভাষায় কথা বলা। গ্রামীণ ফোন।
And now, through no fault of his own, Tamim Iqbal has been stuck on 95 because Mahmudullah played 5 deliveries from Sean Williams, then took a single, and now he's hogging the strike this over from Sikandar Raza. Ten deliveries that Tamim Iqbal has been off strike.
And that can play on your mind. When you're approaching 100, you talk about the nervous 90s, and I said that Mahmoud Riyad was complimenting him too well. He might just be building on the pressure. Right, he gives the strike back to Tamim Iqbal, and he's got to contend with the wiles of Sikandar Raza. Sure, he's going to try and outwit Tamim and get him back, but so far it's looked serene. It's been one of those special occasions from him.
Very quickly off the 95. I guess it's all of us who are stewing much more than Tamim Iqbal himself. Now 4 away.
Indeed, I don't think there was any kind of concern to him, but stats do tend to stand up and bite you on occasions. I'm glad he's off that 95. Pitching it out, sensible bowling, cramping the batsman for space. Mahmudullah Riyad on 16 of 30. The hard grind, just a single boundary from Riyad.
And he keeps the strike. 187 for 3.
দীপিকা সেলফি প্লিজ ওয়াও রিয়েল লাইফে তুমি আরো বেশি সুন্দর এত উজ্জ্বল নিশ্চয়ই ত্বকের যত্নে অনেক কিছু করতে হয় অনেক কিছু না শুরুটাই আসল লাক্স এতে আছে সবচেয়ে সৌন্দর্য উপাদান যা দেয় কোমল ও উজ্জ্বল ত্বক সৌন্দর্যের শুরু লাক্স
পানির প্রয়োজনে আমরা আছি সবসময় আপনার পাশে। বাংলাদেশের সর্বাধিক ব্যবহৃত পানির ট্যাঙ্ক গাজী ট্যাঙ্ক। গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা। বাংলাদেশের সমৃদ্ধিতে গাজী গ্রুপ।
Dot deliveries in this innings, and so few of them have come since the fall of Mushfiqur Rahim's wicket. Partnership 35 of 51, 5.92 was the innings run rate at the time when he was dismissed, now down to 5.5. So while obviously focus has to be on Tamim to get to 100, Bangladesh can't lose sight of the ultimate target, their score at the end of 50 overs.
Absolutely, I think they've got to keep that in the back of their minds. It's been a combination of the approach of Mahmudullah Riyad and then one shot there, but he's been on the defense and also Tamim Iqbal not getting enough time to go after the bowlings as such. He's prepared, just ease his way towards that 3-figure mark, and that's good to see. Not in a hurry, not being flustered. The pressure which everyone says is created during the nervous 90s doesn't seem to be effective in any form at all.
Either that or he's very good at hiding it. That was the 100th dot ball of this Bangladesh innings. He's that sort of character, Tamim Iqbal. Rarely displays emotion unless necessary.
Another simple run into the deep. Content. Just rotate the strike. Not in a hurry. Tamim Iqbal should not be shy of what will be another brilliant 100.
Flourish there, which we haven't seen from a while. Just going to push for a single, keep the strike for the next over, and then try and and get to the landmark. 15 overs to go. He was asking for it. He was asking for the run, not getting it. 190 for 3.
এটা কি দিন বদলে গেছে না ঘরে বসে অনলাইন বিজনেস করছি বা আর এটা কি ওহ মুখ হয়ে আসছে চিন্তা বদলেছো এখন অভ্যাসটাও বদলাও বদলে যাওয়া দিনের জন্য সাবান না এটা
ফেয়ার এন্ড লাভলি ইনস্টা গ্লো ফেস ওয়াশ এটি মুখ থেকে ধুলোবালি এবং চিটচিটে ভাব দূর করে দেয় মাল্টিভিটামিন ফর্মুলার সম্পূর্ণ গ্লো ফেয়ার এন্ড লাভলি ফেস ওয়াশ
was impressive a couple of nights ago. Thought for a moment Sean Williams had forgotten he was around. Taken him 36 overs to hand the ball to Motumbotsi. Certainly we talked about his action. Very tall leg spinner, but he crouches almost when he reaches the crease, so can be deceptive. Maybe the kind of bowler who could unsettle a batsman heading for a landmark moment it's Mahmudullah on strike. Lutina Tender Motumbotsi.
Still not happy with his field positions, asking his captain for the mid-wicket fielder to be moved a little squarer, backward of square, and man at deep backward square has been now moved to deep mid-wicket. That little change taking place. Coming as well to strike. It was in the 29th over that Cummins got to the 90 mark. It's taken a bit of time, but that's understandable. It's silly to throw his wicket away with rush of blood.
Now interesting, the reason why Mahmudullah has had a chat with Tamim Iqbal is because in the previous game, Mahmudullah had the occasion to face a bit of Motumbotsi, Tamim didn't. So he's going to him and telling him what kind of bowler he is. You could see him mentioning that the ball, the release points are not quite as high as you'd expect from a tall leg spinner. So just keep an eye out for him.
Cut around, another amble single. And it's quite nippy too. You to give the ball some air. You mentioned his release point more round armish rather than sort of coming from the top. And sure, I feel that extra bit of purchase that he might attain at times, but the bullshit was not there.
He gave that lots of effort only towards Williams, who darted it back in. Immediately apologized to Mahmudullah Riyad. In the deep. Now too shy of the landmark Tamim Iqbal. He's been doing it in singles so far since he's got into the 90s. He's got a couple of deliveries now from the leg spinner to try and get to the landmark. Flicks it away, they come for one, and it's only going to be one. All that build up for nothing.
They're going to make us wait. He's going to make us wait. But once again, I reiterate the fact that as long as the need reaches that milestone, does not really bother anybody around who support his re-emergence as a superlative batsman.
But guess who won't have the strike next over? Tamim Iqbal. 195 for 3.
পথের জন্মই তো চলার জন্য এই পথ কখনো নিয়ে যায় গন্তব্যে এই পথ চলা হোক নিরাপদ গাজী ড্রাইভারের সাথে
get his 100, but that little fumble, can you see it? Well, it wasn't quite a fumble. There it is. Couldn't latch onto that one. Now they're still there, and this rather negativity might have an influence, but now they've got the single to get Tamim Iqbal back on strike. 99 is that.
And if you just cast your ears around the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium, they're fully aware of the impending landmark. One of their heroes has had a long wait for himself, but it's been a long wait for the Tigers fans who are so knowledgeable in these parts that I can tell you they all know about July 2018. And he nearly gets there. Little anxious moments. They had a little chat before that delivery. I think it was tap and run.
Yeah, they did tap. They did think of a run, but thankfully sent back immediately. Here we go.
Pushes it, and he'll get there. 100 for Tamim Iqbal. July 2018 is a long time, but it's been worth the wait. A sublime innings from the master, Tamim Iqbal. Take a bow. The crowd loves it, and I'm sure all of Bangladesh.
বাবা কাল তো চলে যাচ্ছি বাবা
তুই এখানে
আমাকে সময় না দিয়ে তুমি লাইনে দাঁড়িয়ে আছো
বিদ্যুৎ বিল তো দিতে হবে মা
এত কষ্ট করে না আসো তোমাকে না বিকাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট খুলে দিলাম বিল বিকাশ করো
এখানকার বিল
দেশের যে কোনো জায়গার বিদ্যুৎ বিল দিতে পারবে বিকাশের পে বিল থেকে বিদ্যুৎ সরবরাহকারী প্রতিষ্ঠান সিলেক্ট করো তথ্য দিয়ে বিল দাও এই দেখো ডিজিটাল রিসিপ্ট বিল দেওয়ার প্রমাণ
প্রতি মাসে তাহলে বিদ্যুৎ বিল বিকাশ করবো
এখন দেশের যে কোনো বিদ্যুৎ বিল বিকাশ করবো নিশ্চিন্ত
Plenty would have happened during that drinks break. A few pats on the back, certainly for Tamim Iqbal. But I guess change just here is what's needed. For now, I think it's time to just appreciate the stroke play of Tamim Iqbal. 14 boundaries in it, and they've come to all parts. Started on the onside, lovely cover drives that have become such a trademark, and then came the wrist work on the onside. Occasionally, if he got width, he punished the bowlers and got himself his 12th one-day international 100.
And that's how he's compiled his 100 win, as you saw, strokes all around the ground. The cover drives were absolutely top class. And he was not shy of swiveling around and playing the balls backward of square on the onside. Lovely drives through the onside through mid-wicket area and calf corner. It's been a delight to watch, and just he slowed down at the end of his innings. Still, he's virtually going at a run a ball, 101 of 106. So now maybe we'll see the fireworks. He'll just open up. He's got that monkey off his shoulder, if you can call it that little pressure of not having scored a century for a long period of time. And now you see in his elements as a more attacking batsman. And of course, I'm also hoping that Mohammad Al-Riyad also steps on the gas a little bit, because with 13 overs to go, if they're targeting the 300 mark, they'll have to get a move on.
Yeah, just to remind you once again, 5.92 was the innings run rate when Mushfiqur Rahim dismissed. They were 179 at the end of the 30th over, which is when you try and make a mental calculation of how close to doubling the score can you come. But since then, last 7 overs, just 22 runs. Partnership, one short of 50, but it's taken them 70 deliveries. And that will be the 50 partnership between Tamim Iqbal and Mahmood Al-Riyad. Not as quickly as they would have wanted, but the platform has been laid. Time for them to step on the gas.
Absolutely, and I think no one more than Mahmood Al-Riyad knows it. That's a confirmation of that contribution for 23 from Tamim Iqbal, 26 from Riyad. You will see some unorthodox shots attempted. Pretty obvious to the two in the middle that with the wicket playing pretty well, no gremlins in it, they can just afford to just be more attacking. The 4 balls, that's the last boundary. That speaks volumes for the discipline of the Zimbabwean bowlers and the support from the field.
At this stage of the innings, and we referred to this 30 to 40 over period, you've got 54 balls without a boundary in this period. It means that the fielding side are maybe perhaps can consider themselves to have won this phase of play.
Still struggling to get a boundary, like that 56 balls, and that will definitely play on their mind. Indeed, must give credit to Zimbabwe, their bowlers for the discipline, their fielders for the agility and restraining the batsmen.
Pattern continues, 205 for 3.
সর্বোৎকৃষ্ট কাঁচামালে তৈরি গাজী পিভিসি পাইপ আগাগোড়া মজবুত, বাংলাদেশের সেরা পাইপ। গাজী পাইপ আগে আসতে কত উপকারী না পাইতাম।
গাজী প্রথম, গাজী সেরা।
Close Up Anti-Germ Mouthwash Formulae নিঃশ্বাসে আনে super long lasting freshness। তাই যখনই সুযোগ পাও কাছে আসার, এগিয়ে যাও কনফিডেন্সের সাথে। Close Up, always ready.
Often divide a one-day innings into different phases of play. This last phase of 10 overs has gone the visitors' way. 37 runs at 3.7. If they can keep this momentum going and keep the batsmen quiet, knowing that the set, Mahmood Al-Riyad and Tamim Iqbal are going to come hard at them, full credit to Zimbabwe. this stage, they'll be delighted to keep Bangladesh to around 270, 275 if they can do so.
Well, with pace now, there will be more opportunities in just maneuvering the balls, making use of the angles. Use the bowlers' lengths to get back at them. The spinners had them tied up. That's the mini card. That's what bowlers use. Mumba, the 7th over, has been quite impressive, given away 28 runs. And he has this advantage of coming in at a time for this spell when the batsmen are a little on the negative side. Still struggling to find the gaps in the field. Lots of amble singles, but the Tamim Iqbal realizes that now that he's got his 100, for the team's sake, needs to get a move on. There will be some innovations and some improvisations, that's for sure. Well, the 4 drops in that partnership, extraordinary. Been the problem in the past. Made up for it, as you mentioned, in the last One Day International, when they didn't get a boundary for 24 balls, but they went at a runner ball. There it is, swings around, and that's the boundary they've been waiting for a while. Done with class.
Yes, sense of relief almost. And you just knew that something was going to give, and that's what it was. Taut delivery, testing out Tamim Iqbal. Just swiveling around and depositing yet another boundary in the most productive quadrant that he's been scoring his 100 today. 15th boundary from the bat of Tamim Iqbal.
And I suspect more to come. Mentioning that quadrant, 23 runs from Tamim have come in that area.
Now that's gone up in the air. Is anyone going to get to it? It's fallen in no man's land.
Well, another one, maybe not very intended, in that same quadrant we're mentioning, but he must have had his heart in his mouth. A little awkward in playing that shot. Got a little cramped for space, but thankfully for him, into no man's land. And the bowler will be pretty disgruntled with that. I'm a little surprised, Gautam, that he did, even after being hit away for 4 runs, persisted with another top-pitch delivery.
Yeah, he paid off. Almost got the false shot out from Tamim Iqbal. Since it didn't go to the boundary, he'll be glad that that won't find its way to the highlights reel on his century. It's been such an elegant, such a good-looking 100 otherwise. You wouldn't want a stroke like that to spoil it. Now can Mahmudullah follow? Just got that one boundary, 23 dots in his innings. Probably around the time during his short stay yesterday when he started up in the ante as well. Just like that, cut away for good shot, Mahmudullah Riyad. He got the whip, but he had to put it away. 215 for 3.
In runs off the previous over. This was the finishing touches. What was another very eventful on the home side. Tearing cut stroke in front of point. Big shot again now. This is time. This is time to put the foot down, flat on an accelerator, and they've done it superbly.
Tamim Iqbal showed
that he can also change gears. First 50 came in this 42 delivery, and he snatched that one towards the long on area for another boundary. And the second 50, John, came in 64 deliveries. So the change gear slowed it down, but now it's a time where he can put the foot on the accelerator, and it looks like the intentions are pretty clear, the way he played that shot. Gone again! All the way for 6. This man is unleashing the last over for the power play before they get an extra fielder back, and he's taking full toll. Well, that is a smashing shot. That is a brilliant shot. And it's gone the distance. It was there in the slot. Out she goes for the maximum. Oh, he's going to go again, yeah. Oh, straight. Gone like a rocket off the bat and gone for 4 as well. This is sublime batting by Tamim Iqbal. 14 in the first 3 deliveries. Boundary to start with. Second one was a 6. And the third one is smashed down the ground for another boundary. Terrific stuff from the man who seems to be in a very good touch. He blasted that down the ground. That's a powerful blow from Tamim Iqbal. 14 off the over, and we're only halfway there. Biggest over in the innings so far. Fuller, wider, cut through for another boundary. 4 boundaries in a row. This is unbelievable batting. Simply magnificent. Alright. We'll take you on. Looks to be in a dangerous mood, especially in this over. 18 already in the first 4 deliveries. Hello, we've just got in the commentary box and out of breath already. This is unbelievable batting here. 4 fielders in the ring on the offside now. 1 at long off and back on the leg side. Where's he going to go this time? Oh, he's bowled an arm ball, and that's going to be wide. He's going to have to bowl that one again, but the bowlers, the batsmen have changed ends, thankfully for the bowler. Yeah, they'll be happy to see him at the non-strikers then, because he was taking them apart. 4, 6, 4, 4, and wide down the leg side. 20 already. Run rate now just creeping up, 5.92, 235 for 3 in a very good commanding position at the moment, Bangladesh. Oh, that's a beautiful stroke through extra cover. Mahmudullah joins the party as well. .239 for 3. Run rate now just 6 in an over. Well, he doesn't want to be a spectator only. If you can do it, I can do it too. Through the covers for a boundary from Mahmudullah. Takes one hand off the bat and still manages to put it beyond the reach of that fielder in the covers. Stadium is rocking. No run, drop ball to end it. Finally, it's a huge one. 24 runs from it. 239 for 3.
গাজী লাইট কমার্শিয়াল ভেহিকল টায়ার, গাজী টায়ার, নিরাপদ ও পথচলা।
ত্বকের গ্লো কতক্ষণ থাকে? ওড়না দিয়ে মুখ ঢেকেছ রোদ থেকে বাঁচার জন্য, কিন্তু বাসের জন্য দাঁড়িয়ে ত্বকের গ্লো গেল হারিয়ে। তো যত চেষ্টাই করো, রোদে গ্লো হারাতেই পারে, তাই ব্যবহার করো
ফেয়ার এন্ড লাভলি রোদের মলিনতা দূর করে দেয় গ্লোয়িং স্কিন।
এখন থেকে মুখের জন্য চমৎকার গ্লো।
That was a mammoth previous over as we're going to the last power play. Maximum of 5 fielders now allowed, so that's 1 extra fielder than had been allowed previously from overs 10 to 40. And last over went the distance. Tamim unleashed. He's on 126 now. 115 balls. He's accelerated sharply now once he's past 100. And the crowd is buzzing. They expect him for the last 10 overs. How many can they get? Sweep shot. That's not far away from leg stump in the end. Had an opportunity to put it away because it was down the leg side.
Fielder inside the circle. Short fine.
Down he comes, he's going all the way again. Sails over the boundary for 6.
Tamim Iqbal is on fire. They smashed that down the ground for the maximum. What a shot that is. He looks the old Tamim Iqbal, batting with flair, flamboyance, and too much power. That is a beautiful shot.
Down the wicket again, this time just a single, while bowled Williams had the nerve to roll it into the pads. But the last over, wow, that's really given them the acceleration they're looking for in the last 10. First one was a bit of a no to the leg side. Thereafter, slow sweep for 6. Then a beautiful straight drive. That was textbook stuff, that. And then flashing blade through the offside, which was up. And Abdullah Riyad, who just finished it with a lovely extra cover boundary for 4.
24 runs in that over. Bangladesh managed to score 94 in the last 10 overs in the first ODI. Partnership of 94 of 91.
If Mahmudullah goes here as well, they can both afford to really go here. Tamim, with that there, through your score, 154, and he's on his way here, 133 not out. Running hard, Mahmudullah wants 2. Yes, superb batting and running by this pair.
There's still a lot of batting to come, John. Remember, Mohammad Bidin got a 50 in just 41 deliveries. Have a look at what Tamim has done in one-day internationals, the 100s that he's got. Right at the top is against the same opposition, way back in 2009. And at the moment, catching on. And I wouldn't be surprised if he takes over that score of 154 in this match. Start to finish the over after 41, Bangladesh, 48 foot. The next batsman to come in is smashed 50 of 41. Maybe a run to start with the bat. But there's Mashrafi, and then there is Mohammad Saifuddin, don't forget. Mohammad Saifuddin is not in the 11 today. He played that cameo with the bat in the first one-day international. 28 of just 15.
Raza's change of bowling. How's Mahmudullah going to go about this at the moment? He's been very subdued at the moment, knocked it around so far, but hasn't really stepped up to match Tamim at this point.
Yeah, the last 30 balls they've scored 54 without losing a wicket. So when you're in, I mean, he's batting at 39 or 54, you'd expect him to open up a little bit more and play some more aggressive shots. But if you see someone like Tamim Iqbal doing it from the other end, so might as well give him a strike straight away. Rotate the strike, give it back to Tamim Iqbal, who's doing it very nicely. It looks to be a terrific touch. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mahmudullah also tries to copy what Tamim has done. 44 runs in the last 20 deliveries. So the run rate has certainly been very, very good from Bangladesh.
Just jogging through for the single, as you say, just handing it over to the partner. You keep going, saying you're having a blinder today. Why not? Let's see how Tamim goes about it here. He's in boundary mode. The last 3 overs, he's really cashed in and put these bowlers under massive pressure. 250 up now. He's trying to run it, Farhan. He got cute with that one. Have a look at the quickest so far. The 15. The last 15, just 27 deliveries. Smashing stuff. He's gone big. They call catch it, but it's in the gap. One bounce for 4. 100 partnership comes up. Superb by these two. 99 deliveries. There was a huge gap between that fielder at long on and deep-in wicket. And he eyed that area perfectly by taking those two fielders and picking up yet another boundary, which brings up the 100 partnership. 102 between these two at the moment. Add one more. It's been good batting, good sensible batting. 7 in that over, 255 for 3.
মিস্টার শেফ, ওটা চিনি।
Oh,
এমন অনেক কিছুই সম্ভব করতে গ্রামীণ ফোনের 7 দিন মেয়াদের 4 জিবি ইন্টারনেট মাত্র 108 টাকায়। বাবা,
তুমি এখানে?
আমাকে সময় না দিয়ে তুমি লাইনে দাঁড়িয়ে আছো?
কিন্তু বিল তো দিতে হবে মা।
এত কষ্ট করে না। আসো। তোমাকে না বিকাশ অ্যাকাউন্ট খুলে দিলাম, বিল বিকাশ করো, পে বিলে যাও, তথ্য দিয়ে পিন দাও।
হয়ে গেল। এখন দেশের যে কোনো বিদ্যুৎ বিল বিকাশ করুন নিশ্চিন্তে।
there's a hugely damaging partnership here to Zimbabwe. Tamim is playing with freedom. He's well past his 100, 139, 123. A little bit becalmed in the middle of his innings, but we knew if he was in his last 10, it's going to be carnage. Look at the partnership, 10 fours and 2 sixes, 42 singles, 41 dots. So they've managed to pick up boundaries on a consistent basis. Right. Kuma back into that run for 22. They've used 7 bowlers. So we're hoping that he can bowl a good line. I think it's important for him to realize that the way Tamim Iqbal has batted so far, he needs to target the Yorker straight away. Anything, any width outside the off stump or the leg stump, if you lose your length, it will put you to the sword. That's the kind of mood that Tamim Iqbal is in at the moment. There's a lot of directing going on out there between the fielders, captain. They're trying to work out who needs to come in, and they're all over the place. It's 6s and 7s at the moment. Williams skipper sending fine leg back. He's trying to get fine leg back now. Taylor's coming up at mid-off. It's all going terribly wrong for them here. So debutant Truman, he's going to be under some big pressure. The offside field is up. Third man back, the only man back. Bowling into those pads. Not a bad single. First ball of the over. Yeah, Zimbabwe will be happy to see batsmen looking to take strike and picking up singles, because the problem has been the boundaries. 31 fours and 2 sixes in the innings already. There you go, confirmation. And it's the problem with the dots is 115 dots. That's fine, but you've got to 4 more dots to create that extra pressure. But they'll still be happy to. Probably that's the discussion in the middle between the skipper and the bowler and Trapano. The message is make sure that you don't allow the batsmen to free their arms. The moment they are allowed to free their arms, you're asking for trouble. It's important to have a clear mind when you run up to bowl here. What is our plan? Set my field and bowl accordingly here. He spends a lot of time there now setting this field. The offside field is coming up again, so point, cover, extra cover and mid-off are in the ring. Those are your 4. Everyone on the leg side is back. And he bowls into the hip. That's only going to be 1. So good bowling, singles. Happy with that, the Zimbabweans. We'll have to wait and see what is the plan against the left-hander, because he has 4 fielders inside the circle on the offside and none on the onside. Protecting 4 boundary riders, protecting the boundaries. We'll have to wait and see what kind of field is set. Similar kind of field, because they packed the offside with 4 fielders, and then they have 4 protecting the boundaries on the onside. Nobody inside the circle. The middle leg is the way to go about it. Giving himself room, darling effort and gone. He's put it down. That is an extremely tough chance. Superb effort at backward point. That could have been a stunner. He just tried to move away, exposing the stumps. The clear score of the wicket, it was uppish. The greater head would have been a fantastic catch. Well, it's that man again, the man who made his debut in the first ODI on Raven, representing Zimbabwe in the recently concluded Under-19 World Cup. Short, he's gone to the pull. Oh, that's a superb catch. What a catch by the youngster. He's just put one down and he's taken a blinder in the deep now. They're never easy because he was just standing by the boundary ropes. Quick reaction and nicely balanced. It was a short ball. And he played the shot quite nicely, but then again, it's a fantastic catch. It's going away from Madvera. It jump and pull it out of thin air. Mamadullah gone for 41. Bangladesh 258 for 4. Joins Tommy Mount in the middle, 29 years of age, 50s in this format. He did it beautifully a couple of days ago. This is why he's there. Short ball pulled firmly. He hit it flat, hard, and look at that. He just plucked it out of the sky. What a brilliant catch. And that's his first wicket. He's on debut. First ODI wicket. Well done, Chuma. Very good fielding out in the deep there. Tough after putting one down at backward point. It was also a tough chance and he got a second opportunity. Called for the second run. Is he going to come? No, he's not. There he is. A very brilliant fielder. Brilliant with the bat. Brilliant with the ball as well. So real fun for Zimbabwe. Yeah, this is turning out to be a very good over from Schumann. That's strike rate. 75. That's where they are bowled. Whenever they are bowled in the spot, it has gone. The distance are also short. So don't bowl short pitch delivery. 162. That is a very high percent. What is good is the length ball. That's where you see that 36.8%. So hardly any runs there. Oh, he smashed this one through extra cover. He's not holding back. He's still going strong. End of the over. 263 for 4. That is a gorgeous looking shot from the new wow factor there. Raza is going to continue. There is the slot ball, and that has hit the middle of that bat. That doesn't get any better. What a player, Tamim. His partner cleverly knocks the one on the leg side. Tamim, is he going to take him on again here? 7 overs, just under 7 overs to go. In an over minimum, I would think, from here.
I think possible. I think it's a possibility once the Tamim ball is there. Top score by any Bangladesh batsman in Bangladesh belongs to Tamim Iqbal. And I'll share a nice little story. I met him, I came across him after that test match. And I just mentioned that you were looking so good when you got dismissed of scoring 41 in that test match. And the instant reply from Tamim Iqbal was, there's something big coming up, so be patient. That's what he told me at the end of the test match. And this just shows how confident he was after having a good look at the bowlers and the opposition. And he knew that if he could get a good start in, he can come with a bang. And he's exactly done that. In this second ODI, 146 in 127 deliveries, still batting. And if he can bat up until the end of the 50th over, I won't be surprised if he goes across 200. We'll have to wait and see.
It should be wide, yeah. Absolutely. And in the press, Neil McKenzie talked about, just be patient with him. He's a class player, he trains hard, he's the fittest he's ever been. Practices just as hard as he ever has, so he's still got it, that's for sure. Bowling slower and slower is Raza, and that's quite clever. No pace on the ball to hit through the line. The batsman are going to put the pace on it, hit it out to the cover sweeper. And clever bowling at the moment from him.
Every time Tamim Iqbal goes on to bat, people expect 100 from him. What would also take into account the opposition you're playing against, the kind of delivery that a batsman gets dismissed. Oh, that's gone to the boundary. That's a lovely piece of timing, this time from the bat of Mohammad Mithun.
He's gone short, slow, center, has to be hit. He's bisected the two leg side fielders. It's really let him down. He's trying to bowl all sorts out there. Off spin, leg spin. Bearing in his length. Doesn't matter what you bowl. Off spinner is trying to go big. Has he got the distance? Oh yes. All the way for 6. 15 from it. 278 for 4.
সেলফি প্লিজ। ওয়াও, রিয়েল লাইফে তুমি আরো বেশি সুন্দর, এত উজ্জ্বল। নিশ্চয়ই ত্বকের জন্য অনেক কিছু করতে হয়, অনেক কিছু নয়। শুরুটাই আসুন লাক্স। এতে আছে 7টি সৌন্দর্য উপাদান যা দেয় কোমল ও উজ্জ্বল ত্বক। সৌন্দর্যের শুরু লাক্স।
Shot up to 12.17 in the last 36 balls. What a turnaround. This is the last ball of the last over. It was fished up and he knocked it back right over the bowler's head. Sailed away for the maximum. On the roaring mood, the two batsmen in the middle. Tamim Iqbal, 147. 148 now with that single. Mohammad Mithun has decided he's going to go for it right from the word go. 13 of 5 balls. And at the moment, under the cosh, the Zimbabwean bowlers, very difficult when the batsmen are in this frame of mind to try just contain them. A change of pace, a change of line. You've got to keep on trying as a bowling unit. 53 fours, 3 sixes in the innings so far. That's been tucked away. Difficult times ahead for the Zimbabweans, you know?
Yeah, it looks like in this manner. Definitely surpassed their highest total they got in that last international 2 days ago. 221. 6.32, which is the current rate.